Hello, everyone. Welcome to 30, Birdie, and Friendship. I'm Whitney Ensum.
And I'm Aaliyah Bogdanoff.
And we're back for episode 2 of season 2. So we've been talking about social media and just our thoughts on the influence and where we both fit in personally with it. So we hope you can relate.
You have to relate.
You are one of the people who are on social media, I'm sure, so you have to.
How do you know about this?
Bitch, you found us. So you just crawled out of a cave and decided to search for
What's
awesome
Instagram?
podcasts. And Instagram and Facebook. So anyway. Well, so something I've been thinking about is with what I post on social media. So for me, it's mostly Instagram because I like taking photos, and sometimes Facebook, and kind of how my self-esteem is affected by likes or not likes.
Right.
And would I say what I say if I didn't get anyone liking my post? Because sometimes that's happened.
Yeah.
Maybe like one or two people.
There's always your faithful.
I do have my faithful.
I have a faithful aunt who always likes my stuff, and I'm like, thanks, Auntie.
My mother and my sister, I swear. And that you just know, whatever you post, they just love you.
They just love you.
And you could be the, not most inspiring thing, and they love everything about you. So shout out to our people.
To our faithful support. Dory, who always likes our
Thanks,
episodes.
Dory. Yeah, so let's talk about, I don't know what impact that has on us. So I guess it has me thinking lately about what I'm posting.
Yeah.
The motive behind it. And am I okay with the response or non-response that I get?
Yeah.
How do I be authentic with it? How do I be myself without, one, looking like I have it together?
Yeah.
Or two, caring so much about what people think.
I am so much more comfortable with Facebook. I think I'm a little bit more of the Facebook era because I feel like you can make more mistakes on Facebook. You can post you can post an unfiltered photo and people aren't like, really?
Oh, yeah.
You want that to be one of your Insta photos? Okay, this started because somebody told me 2 years ago I didn't have an Instagram, and they told me that I am not Instagram material.
I'm sorry, what?
It was a group of young 20s girls at my work, and I wasn't upset. I wasn't hurt personally. Or maybe I was. I don't know.
You remember it, so it's probably hurtful.
Sticks out because they said you're not really Instagram material. You wouldn't do good on Instagram because you post so many pictures of your children, and Instagram is not like Facebook. You're not just gushing about your life and talking about everything you're doing. Instagram is a little more polished, and they told me you have to be careful about how much you post, and if you want to be Instagram in on the Insta in, you have to it is a thing.
Insta in?
Oh, it's a thing, and the 20-year-olds know there are these silent rules.
Yeah,
there are these rules that I don't follow.
In the 30s now, I don't feel like I'm
okay. So now I have these rules.
Instagram.
I have these rules. If it is a really awesome photo, it's photography good photo, even of my kids, because that's a lot of my stuff, then it goes on Instagram and Facebook. If it is just mediocre, it goes on only Facebook. If it is less than that, then it goes on my story.
Okay, but how are you supposed to know if it's wonderful or mediocre?
You just look at it and you think, could I frame this, and would other people think it was great even if it wasn't their child? That's what I think. Is it artistic-y of a photo where you're oh, that's beautiful. I don't have to know that child to think that's beautiful.
That's so
Okay, so they learned. They taught me these rules.
The 20-somethings know, apparently.
They taught me these rules, and it really affected me. And then I got I still remember when I got my Instagram, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I thought it was so cool.
It is cool.
And then I tried to follow those rules. And it's really interesting to me because it's about fitting in for me.
Tell me more.
It's about not coming off as the dumb mom. I'm going to use that word. The dumb mom who just posts a bunch of photo about her kids of nothing. So I usually try to post very contextual. What am I trying to say? Full of context.
Sure.
Something that has a lot of context.
Substance.
So you know me, I tend to post a lot of things about my kids doing really naughty, funny things.
It's hilarious. Like
it's
when
hilarious.
McCoy got, eggs on the floor.
There's
and
so many.
Nova colored herself with markers the other day. So
yeah.
I think that's hilarious. That's not Instagram worthy?
Some of it is if I get a good photo, apparently. Oh. But if I don't get a good enough photo of it, if it's a little blurry or if it's not super perfect, then it has to only go on Facebook or my story.
Wait, who made up these rules?
They're silent rules.
I was on Instagram from like the beginning. I didn't keep any of those photos, but I was on it in like 2012.
Whoa!
I know, when those weird filters with the film around it. I think that still exists, and the blurry photo because it was like iPhone number 3, which is like terrible quality of photos. And I thought I was still pretty cool. So apparently
You were breaking rules from the beginning.
Man,
they were invented after us. Do you know that people keep track of who likes their photos? And if you haven't...
Yes.
I mean, like, these people get, like, hundreds of likes.
Yes.
And they go and they look at all of them and they mentally track.
Yes. I've had people defriend me. No, but, like, these 2 hikers that I would like pictures of. Apparently, REI, like, tags them now. Oh. I'm not going to say who they are. But they unfriended me. Because I didn't like their photos enough, or maybe my photos were... Because at that point, my Instagram was personal and about my hiking.
Okay.
So it was public.
Yeah.
But now my personal one is private, and my hiking one isn't. The point is, apparently, I didn't make the cut because I didn't post about enough hiking things, or I didn't like their photos. So one day I'm like, oh yeah, how's this person doing? And I like couldn't find them for a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I was still following them. It was a really weird moment. So I go, okay, I guess I'm gonna defriend you if you defriended me. I felt hurt. Like, I thought you really liked me, but they didn't.
But you didn't like them enough.
I guess not. And so yeah, that's a thing. And they keep, I don't know how much energy you give that. There's like thousands of people on people's. How do you keep track of who? How do you give that much energy? Is that all they do
like an
all
Excel
day?
sheet. I mean, there's a separate app.
Oh my gosh.
These people have liked your stuff the lowest.
Really exhausting.
Oh, that sounds absolutely exhausting. I consider myself to be someone who posts a lot. I do. I get made fun of for it.
I don't make fun of you. I think your pictures of your children are hilarious.
Yeah, well, you're super supportive of me. But my family makes fun of me. And it was really funny because it came out while we were playing a card game.
Uh-huh.
There's this game. Can't remember what it's called right now, but they have these funny things that you read on them, like who in the group would be most likely to fall off a cliff or trip and blah blah blah, who would be most likely, and it said who in the group, and what you do is you all point at somebody, and it's hilarious because you go 1, 2, 3, and everybody points and you just laugh.
That's
because
hilarious.
You find out people's real opinion about you.
Yeah.
And so we were playing this game I think it was at Thanksgiving, and we're all sitting around laughing, and then there was like I think it was like, who crafts, that was the word, who crafts their social media presence the most? And I went 1, 2, 3, and everybody pointed at me. And I gotta tell you, I had no idea that was like an opinion of me because I post a lot. And it didn't hurt my feelings. I started laughing. Like, you guys all think I craft?
You're like,
I post social media. Craft? Like I'm like,
sounds so creative.
It sounds so creative. Like, I'm really putting thought into this. I'm like, I just find moments in my life hilarious, and sometimes I'm laughing so hard. I love laughter.
Yeah.
So I like to share it with people.
Right.
And I also like sharing moments and things we do out. I get a lot of people who tell me in person, like, I love that you post about stuff your family does. Like, I get a lot of really positive feedback.
Yeah.
So it's been something that I've always done, but I'm crafty. Apparently.
Add that to your list of things.
On my resume.
About you.
Crafts their social media presence well.
But there are people who do craft, I think. Yeah. I think there are people, like we were talking about earlier before we started this podcast episode, about, it kind of came up for you of this idea of, like, the real stuff that we show versus the perception that we want people to have of us.
Yes.
And I don't see a lot of that. Maybe I don't follow enough moms. I don't know.
It's very momish when you get in the mom culture.
I think I try to make sure I don't do that. I'm not a mom, but, like, of my life and how it's not this magical place where I just, like, frolic everywhere and go on trips and hike and, like, have great friends.
You could.
It's like,
yeah, because you could really craft this. Look at me, I'm outdoorsy. I do all these amazing, incredible adventures.
And I've been very self-aware of that in the last few months, I think, of how my life is different from a lot of people, a lot of my friends who are parents and who don't do a lot of those things. And I mean, so I was joking earlier about how you came over, you're at my apartment, and how I didn't do all of my dishes and how I kind of cleaned and how that was a really big deal for me and how I didn't try to have it all together. And that I think I'm just trying to do that more even with social media. Like, how am I, like, how real is it for us to have everything clean all the time, to have all of these great relationships where we're never sad, we're never dealing with the heaviness of life, of loss, of grief, whatever we're going through. That's just not real. And I don't want to be that person. But I think social media has a good way. We have an opportunity. Yeah. We have a really good opportunity to show people the best parts of us. Yeah. And I love the best, like, what I love about the people in my life is the best stuff and the not so good stuff.
Yeah, and I think every once in a while, because I think about this a lot too, because I am in the mom world, and I feel like I have a lot of friends who are moms. There's some people who I'm friends with on social media, Facebook even, who I've only seen in person like once, but we're like kind of social media close. Like we comment constantly, and I feel like I have this like online relationship with them about being a mom. And I've noticed that there's kind of this two-directional way that you can go with sharing your family. And I have people who I know who share really, and I wouldn't say overshare, but like they're really good at finding the balance between like, these are my children, they're beautiful, I love being a mother, I love the things I get to do, this is a part of my life I'm exploring. It's very different because you do everything for someone else. Right. And crafting that in a way that's like, I'm actually enjoying being a mom. Absolutely. And then sharing the struggles of being a mom because it's full of a lot of poop and snot and crying for no reason. Yeah. And it can just make you want to pull your hair out. Right. Actually, there's 3 directions. There's the fake one, there's the real one, and then there's the wino one, which is like all I do is drink because my children drive me crazy. And I don't like that one because I feel like that's
terrible.
Like I'm an alcoholic and it's funny. I don't find that funny at all. No. Mostly because like I feel like it gives this wrong message about what motherhood is about. Yeah. Yes, it does drive you crazy sometimes, but like there's this middle ground where you can actually share your experience about life. Yeah. And it feels very supportive. Yes. Because other moms who see stuff you post and think you're amazing and think you're this great mom based on what you post, and then all of a sudden you post about your struggle and they're like, wow, I relate to you so much. Yeah. And thank you for we've sent each other messages like, thank you for being real about what you're really experiencing, because you live in a nice house and you have your husband makes good money, and you could just really make us all feel really small because you're just this incredible mother, but like you don't make us feel small. You make us feel very heard. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. None of us really have it together. And I think that there's like a line of how real do we be? Yeah. How much do we post? Yeah. And is what I'm sharing, like, is it too much information? Like, that's just a thing we need to ask. Like, what is the content? Yeah. But then, am I being my authentic self? Or am I trying to put off this perception of perfection? Yeah. Because that's just not real. And I don't think that's what we're in community for. We're in each other's lives with the good and the bad times. Yeah. And how do we show that in our social media presence without being self-deprecating or loathing or whatever, but also not being this happy-go-lucky person? How do we balance that and, share and connect? But I don't know. I think it's different for each of us.
Well, we were saying earlier how social media is not going to go away. No. And I know people who decide not to be on social media, and that's totally fine. Yeah. But it is another form of communication. It's part of our lives, and it's going to get even more part of our lives as generations continue. And it's not about trying to get rid of it, and that's the solution, because we're never going to go back to a time without it. No. It's, Instagram, Facebook aren't shutting down anytime soon. And Twitter. I don't have a Twitter, so I'm not witty enough for Twitter.
Do you tag them? Do you reply at them? Like, do they reply at you? What does it even mean?
What does it mean to be retweeted?
Well, I've heard people that have been retweeted by famous people.
That would make me feel like $1 million.
And I'm like, you're famous. Yeah, something.
I'd feel like $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm important enough to be retweeted by this celebrity. But other
it's
than that,
basically like someone's quoting you. Like if somebody,
confusing.
Like if Brene Brown was like, Whitney Insom once said, you'd pee your pants.
I would.
Like, I'm pissing all over myself right now out of joy.
I would be like,
warmest joy ever.
Like,
yeah, so that would be retweeting.
Okay, so I can see how that would be appealing. Other than that, I don't care about anybody else. Give me the photos.
Right.
I'll leave you with your Twitter.
But
yeah, it's not going away.
It's not going away. So we're not going to try to fix it by like getting rid of it or I think it's about really understanding and just looking at ourselves. It's like our behavior that we do outside of social media, like in real life, like real life. Like when I used to go to like, I say parties, I've never really been to a party, but like, a gathering. I would walk in the room and I always had to be the center of attention. And I always had to be the person who's like, hey, everyone. And like, I would like be made fun of because I always stand in the middle of the circle. Because I just loved like the fact of everyone's like, around me, I'm the entertainment, And there was a day in my 20s where I had to ask myself why I did that. And what was my motivation? And what was I gaining? Was I really even connect? No, I wasn't connecting with anybody. Like, if you asked me what anyone said that day, I don't know. I was only paying attention to myself. Because it was all about me feeling really good about me and me feeling... like fulfilled and feeling like I was loved by others.
Noticed.
So like I have to do those same questions about the way I run my social media. That's
interesting.
My husband would ask like, why do you post within 5 minutes of that happening? Like, yeah, we went somewhere today. Sometimes you're posting the photos like when we're in the car leaving. We haven't even buckled our seatbelts yet. And you're like, oh, these are great photos. And it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of an anxiety that I get to really get it out there and make sure people know I'm doing things.
Right. Like if I don't post enough about the friends that I have, do I really have friends?
The theory of, oh my gosh, people worrying whether people know that they're still with somebody.
Sure.
Have you ever checked someone's social media to see if they're still dating someone? Like, ooh, are they still dating? I've gone to people's social media and be like, I don't see any recent photos of them. It's been a while.
They must be over.
They're
not together.
Over. They're not social media.
Some people just don't post.
Yeah.
And they just don't post as much as some of us. And they still have thriving relationships and great friendships. And they're probably just not posting.
I knew someone who posted constantly about how amazing their relationship with their husband was.
Oh, that's never a good sign.
And they got divorced shortly after.
Yeah, that's
like
the thing,
it was
right?
so much. Like you would buy her social media, you would have never ever thought that anything was going on.
But that's that anxiety about let me show you versus what's real. So if I show the world enough of these things, and that means it's true, when really maybe more secure people don't do that as much. I don't know.
It's not. I don't think you can put people in a box, but I think it's interesting behavior. The way people choose to portray themselves online. I think it's just an extension of how they already act in person.
Yeah.
It's already an extent, because why would you behave differently than who you really are?
That's true.
So if you're somebody like me, I share a lot of information. I talk a lot. I share a lot about my kids. If you see me in person, that's pretty much what you're going to get. Like you're going to get a very similar experience with me, either online or face-to-face. I'm a little intense.
Yeah.
I talk a lot.
I love about you, though.
But like that's it's a format, I guess you could say, of expression for me.
Yeah. And then there's nothing wrong with that. So there's people, I'm sure, who are inspired by my hiking or my deep thoughts with my pictures that I still wonder if I'm like, do people actually care about what I'm writing? But it means something to me.
Yeah.
But I think like that is an extension of me, and maybe less posts sometimes of people, not because I have friends, but
don't worry,
I have friends. But like as an introvert, like not always doing things and not always like posting about it. I do those things, but sometimes those moments don't get captured on camera, and people don't even say camera anymore, on my phone. So yeah, I think that you're right. I think it is an extension of who we are as a person. So when I post, is that something that I want to post regardless of who gives me positive feedback? This is this is an extension of who I am and what I enjoy doing, what I think about, the people I spend time with. And I think that's a totally okay thing.
So we're all crafting.
Yes.
I'm bringing everyone into the crafting. But
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, they're all done in different ways.
Yes.
We're all crafting just like we craft our personality.
And maybe sometimes we're not as authentic, and that's okay, but maybe we ask ourselves, like, what kind of image am I creating?
Yeah.
Am I really struggling with the difficulties of parenting or difficulties of life in general, and just kind of putting the good things out there?
Right.
I want to connect with the people that are being real. Like, some of my favorite posts are, I follow this gal, Ann Voskamp, and I just love the realness that she has, the way she writes. It inspires me to write. I love writing.
Yeah.
That makes me want to share those things. That things have been difficult in my life. And not that I want to dwell on those things, but look what's happened. Look what God's done. Look what's happened since these painful things.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes we just don't really have an opportunity to have those kind of conversations. And I try to. We talked about this earlier. I can have very deep conversations very easily, but what am I trying to put online? Do I really need to? And am I trying to impress people or not?
Right. And there's we talk about, it's like almost like when you post something. What am I trying to think of, Whitney? You know my thoughts. When I post something, I think it's going to be a hit, and then it's not.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a shame involved.
Yeah.
What do we
just
call
not
it?
as
like
relevant.
That like guilty, where you're like, oh, I should have never.
Vulnerability hangover.
Yeah, vulnerability hangover. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. Or even if it wasn't something vulnerable, but you were being vulnerable because you thought it was going to be really, you were going to get a good response or a big response, and then people don't respond.
And then you're like, did I do something wrong?
Am I not relevant?
Am I not relevant?
Am I not, do people not look at me and think that I'm important, or, I'm
not as important as I think that I am in people's lives. Yeah.
There's a lot of, I think, feelings and thoughts and perspectives that we gain from the response that we have online. Mm-hmm. And we were talking earlier about how, it's the same as if you were to go to an event where you knew a bunch of people and you sat in the corner the whole time and you thought you were going to have this really great time with people you knew, and people really didn't respond to who you are, and you kind of were a loner the whole time. It's that same feeling. It's just done in through a different venue.
Oh, yeah.
And I find myself the same way, like writing a post and I'm sitting there writing, deleting. Like, no, that's not clever. No, that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Like, worried about what I'm putting out there, because what if it doesn't get a response?
Right. And the answer isn't always, then don't put it out. And it's not put everything that you're thinking. So
the answer is like, why does it bother you? Why are you so concerned?
Right.
Why, it's this new social aspect of like, why does it matter how many? Why does it matter how many? It matter? Because it's response. Like, what if tomorrow you had 1 million likes on a photo that you posted?
Oh, that's scary.
Would that change? And all of a sudden, like, on Instagram, you had, let's say, all of a sudden you gained 30,000 followers overnight.
Oh, my gosh.
And you were a hit.
Yeah.
You would probably feel pressure, like, I need to go on a hike because I got to get a photo up.
Yeah. I got to impress people more.
Yeah.
I got to go do
and the
something.
hiking, you would just be so worried about that darn photo for hiking.
Yep.
Yeah. I've heard about this. There's an Jawline. It's a documentary about social media, a couple of like people who are trying to be like social media big. Yeah. And it follows a young man who's trying to get out of a small town by being a social media influencer. Like, he's trying to get famous from it. It's very interesting. And another guy who actually is a social media manager, and he lives in this big fancy house in LA, and he has a bunch of like really attractive young guys who live there, and all he does all day is crafting all of their social media presence, and they are like, they've hired him.
What?
And they actually tour. They do tours, and they see fans in different cities.
Whoa.
These are just people who are only famous online. And he kind of like walks in the room and he's like, okay, you, John, I need you to get on and do a video about your 3 least favorite things that girls say in a date. And then he, like, goes on and posts that. He's usually like, I don't feel like it. And he's like, get on there. I told you.
What?
You need to get at least 1,200 likes, you know. Or like, hey, Steve over there, you need to do a flip with your shirt off. And da-da-da. And these guys have this manager who constantly just tells them what to do. And they live in this fancy house. And he just makes the money. That's all he does.
I don't know how to feel about that.
It's really interesting documentary. And you see this behind the scenes. It's really sad.
Yeah. That's the feeling I have. I feel sad for them.
Like, because none of it's real. And when you see their end, none of it is real. No. But then the fans come up to them at these events that they do, and these girls are like, you saved me from committing suicide last year. You inspired me to connect with others. And they feel so seen by these...
Connected to people they don't even know.
Because these guys come on and he'll be like, I want you to get on and post a inspirational video. I don't know, tell them they're loved or something. And these guys just come on and they're like, I just want you to know today you are loved and worthy, and I care about you, and I see you. And I'm like, you don't see them. You see
don't
nothing.
Even know anybody.
And these girls feel like they owe their life to these guys.
It's frightening.
And it is a new epidemic of social media.
We're so connected, but yet we're not connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we all want?
Do we want each other right now and we're like, what do we want?
Do you want that?
No, I want to inspire people, but I also don't want to be, I don't know what I would do if my blog, because I do want to inspire. My goal is, and this isn't a plug, by the way, for my blog. You can visit if you want to, but it's more about, like, you know, inspiring other women to go out and travel and do this solo hiking thing. But like you said, I don't know what I would do if a bunch of people all of a sudden started following. So in reality, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But what I want to be about are my authentic, real relationships where I can sit down with someone and drink tea and be real and have, like, real interactions. Followers are cool, but I just want to be authentic. I don't know
how many followers is authentic.
I don't know. Not a million.
Not a million. No.
Maybe we don't have an answer.
Maybe there is no answer to that.
But let's just do what we feel good about. I don't know.
I bring it up because I feel like there's this desire to have it.
Yeah.
But, like, when you really have it, it's not. It's kind of disillusioned. Like, it's really
That's
not.
So true. It doesn't. It ought to. For some people, it brings them a lot of fulfillment.
Yeah.
But I don't imagine that that's long lasting.
Right.
And it's not something of substance.
It's like popularity in high school.
Yeah.
Like, I had a year where I don't want to say I was popular. I would say I was popular with the unpopular. It was like my junior year. I figured out, like, this formula on how to get everyone to like you. And you know what it is? You mirror people. Because people are most fascinated with themselves. So psychological in high school. It's amazing. Sad. But no, I spent my junior year really mirroring people and just becoming whatever they wanted. And I made a lot of friends. I was super well known, but not one person knew anything about me. And then my senior year, I flipped that and I decided to not do that anymore. And I lost basically everyone. I mean, no one really was that interested in spending time with me or saying hi to me or talking to me. I kind of barred down to, like, 5 or 6 friends. Yeah. And maybe not even that much. I think I only had, like, a couple of people that I really spent time with. But I decided to stop just being what everybody wanted, and I was so happy. Yeah. Because the feeling of popularity that I had the year before was so empty, because I would have these really low days, but I couldn't actually experience them. I would just put on a face. I would give the people what they wanted.
You wouldn't have anybody to connect in those difficult moments, someone to listen. They're all about themselves.
Yeah, because I would just mirror them. I would just be what they wanted. So that's...
Popularity isn't everything.
It's really not.
And likes don't equal to our worthiness. How much likes we get, or comments, or whatever, doesn't... we might feel it does, right, in that moment, but in reality, it doesn't actually, it ought to not change how we feel about our self-worth and who we are as people, that maybe they didn't see it. That's what I think. Maybe they didn't see it, or maybe it didn't hit as, like, there wasn't as much of a response from them And that's okay, though. That doesn't mean that we're loved any less or that we're less worthy. It just means that for some reason that post didn't get as many, not as many people saw it or liked it or felt connected, but that's okay, right? Like, that has to be okay. Otherwise, we can't build our whole foundation on people's responses to what we put out there.
Right.
Even if they're the most amazing photos of our children, of the mountains, even though we really are happy about them, if other people aren't as much or don't show the same enthusiasm, does that still mean that we're relevant?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I believe that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you look back even at, like, the relationships you kept in your life. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. It's the same kind of question. Like, you look back and say, we often talk about the way we ran friendships 4 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
Versus now.
Oh, gosh. I mean,
so different.
Much has changed.
So much. I used to not ever really express myself in friendships, or I had a really hard time saying what I really thought. I kind of kept up that, like, I just wanted people to feel good about who I was and like me and want to spend time with me. But there was always this inner conflict because they would want to spend time with me, but I wasn't being really me. And so deep down, I felt like, do they really want to spend time with me, or are they want to spend time with this person I've created?
Right.
And nowadays, when I, like, get close to people, I am so intentional about trying to be real with them because now I'm not scared of them going, I don't like that. Or, know what? I don't like you. I'm like, okay, that's okay. If you don't want to spend time with me, it's better we figure that out now than, me faking it for 6 years and then it all kind of fizzing. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's a really big challenge for us to, one, know ourselves deep enough to, like, know who we are, and then, two, to be secure enough and ready to share it with other people. Because there's just such this epidemic of, like, do people really love, care, and think about me? Am I really relevant? Am I really, am I liked by people? Yes.
And how do we measure that?
Yeah.
Is that even measurable? Or is that something that we know because of the way they show us, this time they spend with us, the way they reach out?
Right.
And it's not... things change. I hope that we all continue to grow in how we feel about ourselves and therefore the friends that we make. Yeah. I'd rather people know, like, you don't have to tell them everything at once, but I spent a lot of time, crafting this. I've got it together. It's okay. And then when things weren't okay, you kind of find out who I found out, my people. Yeah. And most of them actually were still my people. Yeah. And I think we don't realize just how much of an impact we make in people's lives until we kind of get outside of ourselves and reflect on, no, I know that I'm loved. And it's not reflecting in likes or maybe they just are busy for a while. Like, I know that I'm still someone that is loved. And I don't have to craft anything. Right. I just have to be myself. And the people that are my people will stick around. And I'll love them for who they are too, even when they're a mess. And that's really what caring about people is about, those messy times too.
Yeah. I like to think about the people I really respect online. I respect people who do give an authentic feeling to who they are, who are just as good about posting about the hard times in a way that's, like, not a complaining way. Because I know people who are like, today sucked at work, and you're like, thanks for sharing. I hope your boss doesn't follow you. I hope that your coworkers do not see that you hate your job. Right. But, the people I really respect are the ones who take time to think about how their words affect others. Saying, like, hey, if you're struggling today, you need to know that there are all days that we struggle. Yes. And we're all trying to figure this out. Like, all of us, even the most secure people that will look secure. They're trying to figure it out. Yep. They're trying to figure out. And I feel like as a mom, at my age and with what I have to work with, I'm not going to ever be Instagram famous for being beautiful or being in a bikini. I don't think I would ever wear a bikini. I only wear bikinis when I'm pregnant because dang it, that belly gets to be out. But when I'm not pregnant, nobody wants to know what's happening. And that's okay with me. But, like, I'm never going to be somebody who gets followers or gets, you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying? Is like, I'm never going to gain anything on Instagram or on social media based on how I look. No. That time is over for me.
Sure.
That my peak years, social media wasn't big enough. Really missed out on the bathing suit era of my life. But
that's okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying is like, it is like, you know, I know that about myself and I know that. But for me, it's like, what is it that I want to represent online? Because it is it is something that everybody sees about me. Yep. And for me, it's always been, I want people to look at my life and see the good things. Yeah. You know, see that, like, I care about my family so much. I love my children. Yeah. I enjoy my children. Dang it, they make me struggle. Yeah. Because that's real life. Right. But then I also find relief in laughing about it. Mm-hmm. And that, like, I could have, like, a total meltdown about my son who shoved... Did I tell you about the time he shoved a foam football down the toilet and tried to flush it because he thought it looked like a poop? And it swelled up and got stuck in the toilet. No. Yeah, and my brother-in-law had to come over. No. Because my husband was out of town. He fed a hose through the window, which is really high up, down through, and then had to create a vacuum seal to shove the football out. No. The worst part, when he retrieved it, he threw it at me, and I caught it. And he said, "Do you want this back?" And I was like, "This is a poop football. I don't want this." Football. But, like, that, for me, was a really frustrating moment. Yeah. And I try to turn those moments into laughter. Right. Like, how funny it is that my son thinks this is poop, and he tried to flush it. Instead of, like, just getting so frustrated that he created this problem in my life that I can't solve.
Because there's other poop footballs out there.
There's many poop footballs.
Like, everybody has poop footballs. Maybe not really the poop football.
And I post about things like that because I want I want other moms who are stressed out and are having a rough week, and maybe their husbands are out of town and they don't have the support that they need. Right. When their kid does something really rando, I want them to remember, like, I have a choice. Yep. I can get really mad about this, or I can laugh. Yep. And I hope they laugh.
I'm sure they do. You have some pretty funny photos of your kids.
My son is the worst.
He really is.
He really is. He gives me tons of content. All at the same time. So much content. Yeah. So, that's what I want from what I post.
I love that.
I want people to feel calmed. I want them to find moments of laughter in their chaotic life.
Okay, I like that.
What do you want?
I want people to feel inspired and seen and validated.
Do you ever want people to, like, okay, this is what you make me want. When I watch your stuff, I'm always like, I want to go outside. And I don't go outside. But you make me want to go outside.
Yeah, I want people to feel the same peace and healing that I've felt being outdoors. And then there's times where I have those deep, moments where I post something that I want people to know that it gets better. Like, that things don't always have to be the way that they have been, and we can find joy and contentment and purpose even when things suck. And I think I think a lot of that has come from, for me, being real with people and being outdoors. That has been so wonderful. So yeah, I have some friends I got together with recently, and they were like, I really don't have any interest in that. All three of them. And I was thinking, you know what? That's okay. Like, that's just not who they are. They are inside people, and they like books and people and dogs and grandchildren and indoors. But I know that they feel, they love seeing me joyful and me being happy. So I think it's just, if you want to do those things, I hope to inspire people to be adventurous, to be outside. So yeah, I think that's what I'm crafting without being too crafty, because there are also times where I wear the wrong footwear and I sprain my ankle, or I get lost, or I get other people lost, and being real about that. So it's not always wonderful.
Right.
So,
and I think it's important to remember those things when we're feeling insecure about what we're posting and we're feeling like we're not getting the response we hoped and we're feeling small. Because I don't think those feelings start with social media.
No.
I think it is just a venue for us to feel that way.
It's amplified.
It's
it
amplified.
Just turns the volume up on our insecurities.
It's like, hey, are you feeling like you're not noticed today?
Well, let me show you
why don't you post a picture and why doesn't everybody just say, you suck? And then why don't you just feel it all at once?
Yeah. You are the worst.
You're the worst. Because we all know that feeling. And we all have heard the statistics on, like, this new generation, how they're all dopamine deprived because they're like
brains
crazy.
Brains
are shrinking.
Because they're staring at their phones. They're addicted. No, I'm serious. I heard that. I heard that earlier. Like, the gray matter is shrinking. And then this person goes, but I wouldn't really give away my smartphone. I'm like, I wouldn't either.
My brain's shrinking.
I know.
But I would never. So it's, so that is, I find it fascinating. Someone could tell you, like, if they could come out with a study tomorrow that said, study had just been released, if you spend more than 45 years looking at your phone, you die. Like, instantly. And people would be like, well, I've been looking at my phone for 15 years. I got another 30 more. I think I could fit a good amount of... People would, like, not stop. And that's the thing.
And people are us. That's not all of those people. We are connected to this.
This is not going away.
No.
And I love, shout out to Ashley Goldsmith, who's... Shut up. She's, like, the smartest girl ever. She's young, up-and-coming smarty pants. Yes. She did a really great, like, social media awareness, what would you call it? Like, she posted videos. She started the discussion. And I loved it because her questions were like, why do you post what you post? What is it? What does it make you feel when you post things and people don't respond? Ooh. She has all these really deep questions. I absolutely adored everything she did about it because she's a little bit more of an age where they're more so affected emotionally by it and psychologically. And she just, like, got her fingers in there, like, got all, like, let's rummage through all this crap and, like, really ask ourselves, what are we doing? And I just have so much respect for her because it affects her generation even more. She's, like, I think 19 or 20 or 21. Sorry, Ashley, I don't know how old you are. I always think you're 35. But, like, they have never not known it. We're, like, like, I've only been on Instagram for, like, a year, maybe. And Facebook before that, I think maybe only 8 years. So I have a social life that was before social media that I know.
We learned about real connection. I didn't get a cell phone until I was, like, 16, and it was a flip phone.
Oh, my God, the flip phone. T9.
It was fine.
Was so...
T9.
Do you know what T9 is, right?
I don't.
If you want, it's like... You have to press 1, 2, 3 times.
Gosh,
it's called T9. Yeah.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, it's called T9. It's what you would use on a flip phone.
Oh, my gosh.
So, like, writing a message...
Takes 5 years.
Yeah.
My mom got a new phone. She says the old ones are called dinosaurs. I'm like, yeah,
they are.
And she finally got an iPhone. I was like, welcome to the real world, Mom.
When my husband and I were dating 7 years ago, he had a flip phone and I had a BlackBerry.
Oh, man.
So this is how our conversations went. It was like, I would like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then like 40 minutes later, he would respond. That's how we used to text when we were dating and obsessed with each other. And I would sit there for 40 minutes.
You're just waiting. That's
waiting
like,
for the
you
love
have
of
the
my
anxiety
life.
for the people that you're dating to text you back anyway.
Yes.
But it's like worse than the ... This is like, you don't even know if they've seen it. This is just silence. And they're just trying to click T9 that message.
And he used to tell me what gave him so much
terrible.
anxiety is he was, one, a bad speller, like me. And his phone didn't have like the correcting thing.
No.
So he would have to like go look it up if he wanted to write it. But also I watch him do this whenever he's conflicted about a text. He's one of those people who writes it, deletes it, writes it. He's a rewriter. So he would tell me that he would be sitting there crafting a text for me because we would have like these really deep conversations over text.
So much.
I would stay up till 2 a.m. waiting for text messages, my goodnight text message, because like, that seems like insanity now.
Yeah. And you're like, I texted you 5 minutes ago. Why aren't you responding? You had to wait so long.
Yes. My favorite is when people voice text the wrong, embarrassing thing.
That's
I
the
love
best.
that.
That's wonderful.
And that's my favorite, the mistakes.
Yeah.
They're hilarious now. Like, I'm texting you from my car, about to drive over a cliff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just such, so it's a different time that we live in with communication.
And it's not going away.
So
how do we work with it?
How do we be the best authentic versions of ourselves with all these new venues?
And knowing our value and feeling secure and not basing so much of our identity on social media stuff.
Yeah. How do we not worry about what people are thinking about what we just posted or not posted?
How do we?
How do we not do that? My thing the other day, and this is being really real,
I love it.
I get really judgmental about people who put blurry or uncrafted pictures. I don't know why. I'm like, you could have used a filter. That picture is really bad photo. Like, and I have to tell myself, like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And I think it's because I worry about other people doing that to me. And it's like bullying. It's like whenever somebody has bullied you about something, if you don't deal with that, you turn it around and you do it to other people. It's just a cycle thing. And I've been really working on lately, like, stop judging people in your mind about what they write. Like, that's just an extension of who they are, and just, like, let it alone.
Yeah.
Like, just leave it.
Don't judge.
If I see one more person, though, over 50, post a post that says, Facebook has now released a new policy where they can steal all your information, but if you repost this post,
I love the
they
repost.
will look at your Facebook and not steal your information. You're like, it's just the scams. I love those.
Or like when people post things that you know are at least 2 years old, and then you don't check. I saw this person's post one time, like, for 2020, what we're going to do is we're always going to check the dates now. Like, before you post, check the dates, because we'll post things like, somebody's missing. This child is missing. And it's like 2 years ago.
And someone's like, that person was found.
Yeah. You're posting old news.
They're now 70. They're fine.
I'm all about people posting for missing dogs, missing children. Just check the dates, people. Check the dates. The person is probably found. It's okay. And you posting it is not going to change it.
It's not. You're not going to communicate to Facebook that you're not participating in their
I don't share those. I'm sorry. I'm not one of the sharers, so it just doesn't go anywhere. Like, I hope that you find them. Just check the dates. Just check the dates. Check the dates, people!
Check the dates! Check the dates!
Oh, gosh. Well, let's not be judgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
of ourselves or other people.
I'm going to work on that.
Me too.
You're hard on you. I'm hard on us.
I know.
I'm very open about that.
Because as I'm thinking, I'm going, man, I need to stop judging myself. And you're going,
like,
I need to stop judging other people.
I'm just the worst to other people. I'm like the worst in my head to other people. I'm working on it. And
That's the best
I'm
thing.
a nicey in person, but I get a little mean in the brain.
But I think we're all a little mean sometimes. So
I'm just honest about it.
Okay. Love it. Oh gosh. Well, this has been great.
Well, we do not get comments except for our 3 fans who comment. And I'm just going to address this for a second.
Just say it.
Can we just say it? We really thought we were going to get more responses. We get more in person or private messages.
Yeah.
People don't really respond to our stuff. And like 2 likes on our videos.
Yeah. What's that about?
I don't know. It's confusing to me, and I don't know. Sometimes I get a little like, what could we do to change that? And then I think we just got to this point recently. We're like, we don't give a fudge monkey.
I wasn't sure where that was going.
We don't give a fudge monkey if people do or don't. It's,
Excuse me.
It is what it is. And
we're just doing it because we feel like this is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
But we really would like to hear from you.
We would love if somebody would respond.
Trying to say.
I would love if you did. Because we do this, and when we don't get feedback, we're just like, what do you think's going on out there? We love these conversations ourselves.
Oh, we do.
Oh, God, I eat this stuff up. I love it. But, it's so, again, it's so hard with public content because the response is everything. And when it's like crickets, it makes you think and wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I'm always like, I'm a strategy brain. Like, what could we do different? What could we change?
Right.
Oh, we could do this. We could do this. We could do this.
Plan.
And when he's like, or we could just be us and have fun and enjoy it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I do really like doing this.
Yeah.
And the people who do come and talk to me in person, love you guys.
Yeah.
I hear them and I just think, wow, I'm so glad people are like, they're getting something out of it.
So the motive that we have is to connect and to be relatable. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to stop just because people don't comment. But we would like comments.
Like feedback. I like feedback.
Yeah, but like how can we... because it's really about...
Well, because this is a conversation starter, so it's supposed to stir more conversation. Right. I think that's where I'm going with this.
I hear that. Yeah.
It's like people listen to this, maybe because podcasts are people don't listen to podcasts in groups. They listen like by themselves, and everything they're responding to is probably in their head. Right. But like I love the idea of it being a conversation starter. I want people to hear something, connect with it, and then respond either in their own life or...
But you would like for them to... we would like for people, if possible, to respond
to us
in our content.
Yeah,
and
I would love
then we can, not for our self-worth, but to know that how we're impacting people's lives.
I don't think I can handle if someone says anything mean, though. I'm not there yet. If somebody said something,
we're going to say something it only has to be positive.
Someone was like, this podcast sucks.
What would you do?
I would probably cry. Yeah. Oh, I would cry.
I'd feel sad, yeah.
I would be like, they hate us. Oh, it could be one person and I would just...
one person.
So again, this is the effect of social media. Is like, I would love for good stuff, but I would hate if anyone was mean to me.
Do you remember the episode of The Office where Andy...
Yes!
He's on YouTube... And Nellie is writing all those comments secretly, and she's like, "You're the worst." And he's like, "No!" And every time he gets a comment, he just feels it in his heart. And I just think of that, like, Andy with YouTube moment of his banjo.
That's right.
If you're gonna give us,
he was like, "Andy sucks." What? Andy's pretty cool. Did you see that? Someone thinks I'm pretty cool.
And you see the end of the episode, Nellie's like smirking, and she's the one who did it. I guess the point of that is, don't send nasty comments because it'll really hurt our hearts.
It would hurt my heart so much.
Oh, God.
Oh, we love you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
And if possible, you could respond.
And like and share. Mostly share. Like, have
that's the most
part
important
of the conversation.
Yeah, because we want more people to experience real talk.
Yeah.
We try to be the most real as we possibly can.
This has changed my life.
Yeah. I get real hangovers afterwards.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be thinking about this episode and all the things I said and all the nasty coughing I'm doing. So.
Oh, you hardly coughed.
Okay, good.
You coughed more before we started.
Like I have emphysema. It sounds like my neighbor downstairs who's been like smoking a pack a day for like 50 years.
She's like, Whitney finally started smoking. I'm so happy for her. I have a fellow emphysema friend.
Crap.
All that smoke comes in.
Oh, man, that's the worst. Okay.
Well, you guys have a great week, and we will catch up with you next time.
Next time on 30 Wordy and Friendship.